Hey you guys, it's Gabriel calling from Eurovision,
Hi, it's Joe.
and Eurovision 2025 is done. It has finally and sadly come to an end, but we have a lot to uncover on an extremely unpredictable year. And today we're going to unravel all the results from semi-final 1, from 10 qualifiers, the 5 non-qualifiers, and the rest of the world vote. Shall we deep dive into this, Joe? Let's do this! Alright, we have finally come to an end of our Eurovision 2025 journey. Our first year of Eurovision has come to an end, sadly, and it's been a brilliant year though, Joe. 400 subscribers on the board, the goal was accomplished.
Yeah, we only tried to get 250, and we got 150 more than that.
You guys have been, like, and I'll say this from my heart, absolutely amazing. And it's just motivated us to make even more better content for you for the years and years to come. But, Joe, enough about that. We have a lot to talk about. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. Because this could be argued as the most unpredictable Eurovision ever. The winner of the final getting the lowest points ever from this current format. And semi-final results that are slightly, as you could say, unpredictable on the scorecard. Let's just go from top to bottom, shall we? We have Ukraine winning the semi-final, followed by Albania, Netherlands, Sweden, Estonia, Iceland, Poland, Norway, Portugal, San Marino, Cyprus, Croatia, Slovenia, Belgium, and Azerbaijan. We're going to deep dive the show. We're going to go into a lot of detail about every single nation. But Joe, shall we start off with the 5 non-qualifiers? I think we should.
Yeah.
Let's start off with right at the bottom. Azerbaijan just only getting 7 points, and that was from San Marino. Joe, where did it really go wrong for Azerbaijan here?
I think it was just a bit of a, it didn't stick in people's heads. It was okay, but was there a standout factor? No. Would it be in anyone's top 10? Not
I think the Studio Radio Cup was really impressive.
Yeah.
One of my favourites, but live, I'm like, you see this beat coming into the song, and then you don't expect the guy to go, that pulls me out. He was so, I wouldn't say he was singing badly, but it was so high and it just didn't fit right to the song.
No.
I had a feeling it would come last, and it only scored 7 points, and those 7 points are from San Marino, and in the semi-final at least, San Marino's public is the jury vote, because they don't have a mass public. So, look, Azerbaijan, not going to be one of our main talking points today, because they've had not a great year, and they're on a bit of a bad run, Azerbaijan, aren't they? 3 non-qualifications in a row.
Are they now the biggest non?
Yeah, I'm not sure. We need to check that out, but they have not had a good run. And what do you think they need to do next year to try and get themselves back in the final if they return?
I think they need a song which is not just mediocre through everything. They need something with a standout factor, something that will stick in people's heads until the day of, hopefully, the final.
Yeah, this was not a rememberable act. No, it didn't really stick in people's heads, minds.
Not really memorable.
All right, let's talk about Slovenia and Belgium. They come joint 13th. I believe on our sheet it says Slovenia came higher, but I think on the rules, maybe not. I think the rules must be that it's whoever gets more different votes, because I thought it was whoever gets the highest vote, which would have been Belgium, who actually got a 12 points from the San Marinese jury. But Belgium only getting points then from Estonia, Iceland, and Netherlands. Yes, Netherlands. So, what's wrong with this? I thought this was one of the clear ones to go through to the final.
Yeah.
What's it? Underwhelmed? I don't know. Do you disagree?
I think the backing track behind it was louder than the singer, so you can't really hear the good vocals, the good this, the good that.
Yeah, I couldn't hear Ed Sebastian Pussy, and I know the song has so much potential, but we can see rave songs don't do really well at Eurovision. They haven't done well in recent years. We Will Rave only got to the final last year, came 24th, and it's a shame because I was a massive fan of Red Sebastian.
Same.
And I think the song is brilliant, but I wasn't. Belgium now 2 years in a row had really good songs, yet they've not been able to get to the final both years, and I think it's a shame. And only getting points from 4 different countries out of possible would have been 18. It's disappointing. But Belgium not qualifying again. All right, let's go to Slovenia, who came 13th. I would have expected higher.
Yeah, I would have thought 11th on the board.
They didn't get any 12 points. Their best score was an 8 points from the San Marinese juries. The San Marinese jury voted for all the songs that didn't qualify, which is really interesting. Look, Clement I thought was beautiful on stage. I thought the song, you could really understand the message of the song. You know,
Yeah.
you could tell it was him, and you could his enunciation of the lyrics were very good. You could tell it was about his wife who was dying, and then when she appeared at the end, it was like, oh, she's alive. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But to become 13, that is disappointing.
Yeah, I think they expected higher. When it was the ninth cut, like 3 people, when it was
Yeah.
Portugal, Azerbaijan, I think,
Yeah, and
and
Slovenia.
Slovenia. I thought Slovenia were going through.
Or the qualification way they announced this year was really good. I
Yeah, I
thoroughly enjoyed
liked
it.
it.
It was really impressive, and it created a lot more tension. But two countries that didn't get through as well were Croatia and Cyprus. Let's talk about Croatia. Performing number 14 in the running order. Obviously, this has helped them performing at the end as the vote only opened at the end of the show. But not getting a lot of points across the board. They get 12 points from their neighbours Slovenia. But nothing really else. They got 8 points from Ukraine, and the rest of the world gave them 2 points. Um, I think this was a massive upgrade compared to the national final performance,
Yeah.
and that really helped it get higher. Because if it was that national final performance, that's coming 15th in that
Yeah,
semi-final.
15th, dead last.
Do you know what? To be fair to them, I thought it was really impressive. I think his vocals are better. I still think the actual staging lacked a bit of quality.
I still thought he wouldn't get through.
It gave me Baby Lasagna vibes in the sense of the lighting changing colours and Bambi Thug in the sense of the song. But I kind of thought it wasn't going to get through. Another country who I didn't think was going to get through on the night, Joe, was who you predicted not to get through in our predictions video, and that was Cyprus. Now, Cyprus are really interesting. They closed the show, got 44 points, but only got points from 5 different countries. They got the 12 from Albania, they got the 12 from Azerbaijan, they got 5 from Portugal and from San Marino, and 10 from Spain. But only getting 5 points from 18 options is not good enough. And I thought there was something really underwhelming about Theo's performance. I thought the one thing we've learned about Eurovision this year is the crowd have not voted for generic pop songs, and this just did not cut it on the night.
Yeah, I think everyone expected more from the staging, like a lot more, and it was just like
The hype was hyping up too much in a way.
Yeah.
It was a letdown when we got to live performance.
yeah,
It was a massive letdown, and I think Cyprus needs to step away from their traditional that they always do pop songs. They always send generic pop songs.
Yeah.
It's worked recently. Theo didn't sing amazingly.
no, he was okay.
He was okay. The staging was distracting.
Yeah, I think they were relying on the staging too much.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame because it's a great song, but live it just was not delivered. And Sergio Yain, who did Bambi Thug staging last year, was brilliant. Did Finland's this year, it was brilliant. Did Austria's this year, was brilliant. Did Cyprus this year, it was good. But
not
I felt it distracted from Theo too
Yeah.
much. And even when he was doing his high note at the end, it was so off-putting, the lights, and you could barely see Theo, and the note was quite painful. It wasn't a great all-round package, and I think that was the letdown of it.
I definitely didn't expect it to get 11th. I expected it lower when.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who did you expect to come 11th? I thought
Slovenia.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be
Then
Slovenia,
Belgium,
Croatia, Cyprus,
Cyprus,
but ending the show obviously helped Cyprus and Croatia, and Slovenia performing third
Yeah.
hindered their chances.
I mean, it was the only one not to get through in the first half, though.
Yes, very true. We are going to talk about one more country before we move on, and that is San Marino. Now, San Marino got points from all countries by themselves and 4.
Yeah.
And their way they got through to the final was Italy, lifting them into the final with the 12 points. Look, it came bottom of the grand final, but apparently the crowd absolutely loved it, Joe.
Yeah. The crowd definitely loved it. I think it was probably in my top 20 out of the 37 songs. But was it anyone's, this one's brilliant, this one's brilliant, I like this one a lot? No.
The issue was there wasn't enough camera work
Yeah.
on Gabriel himself. And I felt the camera was a bit static. Because I'm like, we'll come on to this in the semi-final 2 video like Emmy, but he was a DJ, but he was standing still the whole time. Could he not have made any sort of movement anywhere?
Yeah.
It was way too static. I love the song. I forgot the name now of the what was the structure in the background? The famous statue in the background. It was like chewing.
Statue of David?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And is that the naked statue?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so.
Yes, I thought so. And it was just slightly off-putting and trying to distract away from Gabriel, who was a massive
Yeah.
artist. But I'm wondering if people voted for the name and not the song. Because when the
Yeah.
commentator said, and I know in England I watched, they said this guy made Blue from 1998 was part of Eiffel 65. Does that make someone want to vote for him? I was so happy when San Marino got to the final. My head almost went through the roof. But and I jumped up and my head almost went through the roof. But it's a shame they came last in the final. But we'll come on to that in our final video. But San Marino, they got through to the final, and that is all that matters for them. All right, let's talk about this really close five-way fight at the top of the semi-final that was extremely close. Ukraine winning the semi-final with 137 points, which is a quite small amount for a winner of a semi-final.
Yeah.
You normally expect 160,
Israel
170. Israel got 203, but that's a lot. Ukraine. Now, they saved this to last to qualify. Very anticlimactic in my opinion. It was quite obvious they were going to go through.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because Ukraine got points from every single country. 10 from the rest of the world vote. People still clinging on to Ukraine out of solidarity of Ukraine. Because honestly, I think out of Ukraine's entries this decade, this is by far the weakest.
Yeah. I would definitely
I
agree.
wasn't the biggest
Maybe
fan.
Heart of Steel.
Heart of Steel, yeah, possibly. I wasn't a fan. The rest of the world, as I said, gave them 10. They got 12s from Cyprus. They got 12s from Poland, Portugal, Spain. So only to 4 sets of 12s. The 12s were distributed a lot throughout the semi-final. But Ukraine getting 137 points still shows that the public are still with them.
Yeah.
And did it deserve to win the semi-final? No.
Not
If
really.
it was not a country besides Ukraine, would it have got to the final? Maybe not. But I still think the Ukrainian, every single song in the semi-final that got through, besides Norway, was a song in a non-English language.
Yeah.
All 5 songs that didn't qualify were in English.
Yeah.
Yeah? Cyprus, all in English. Croatia, all in English. Slovenia, all in English. Belgium, all in English. And Azerbaijan, all in English.
Oh well. But in the top 5, there was only one country who didn't receive one set of points, and that was Sweden from San Marino. Every other country got at least 1 point from all of the rest.
Yes, 100%. Albania in second. We need to talk about this.
Oh, brilliant.
Squadra Electronica with Joe. Now, this was amazing. I was really concerned for it because, look, in the semi-final, yeah,
Yeah.
country, the viewers are not casual viewers normally. They are Eurovision hardcore fans. But I was concerned that people would maybe leave Albania behind a bit. But they easily got through second in the semi-final. They got the 12 points from the rest of the world, which is really interesting. People around the world voted for Albania of all countries. Small country in the Balkans. Yet they did fantastically. And I think this is one of the best entries they've ever sent.
Yeah.
I think it was brilliant. I thought Beatrice's voice was exceptional. I loved when Kolya came in. He was very hypnotizing, and then you have the red on one side and the white on the other side,
Yeah.
and it was very hallucinating. And I loved it.
Yeah, I think second I was surprised, but did it deserve to get
Do you know why I thought it came
five?
second?
Yes.
Number one, I thought it came second because I thought Sweden won the semi-final.
Yeah.
And number two, I thought it came second because why would they put that last in the grand final? It's like you wouldn't go and stick, for example, like Portugal in the grand final because they came ninth. Even San Marino, they weren't going to stick them last because they're not a fan favourite. They came 10th in the semi-final. So I was really, really impressed with Albania, and we're going to talk about them more in our final recap because Squadra Electronica are amazing, and you know what? They deserved it so much.
Thoroughly,
Albania
yeah.
to get a good result is amazing. However, 1 point behind them, only one, was the Netherlands. Claude getting 12 points from Belgium and from Switzerland. Look, I found this nice.
Yeah.
Is one word I would describe. Nice. Passionate. Slightly boring. Joe.
I think obviously in the final he made a mistake. In the semi-final, was it memorable? Not really. Like at the end of the night, if I was like asked who I thought would have won, who I thought would have done well, I wouldn't have said Netherlands.
Looking at the final, looking at the rehearsal performance, the 30-second clip, I was worried about his chances of getting through.
No, I thought it would.
At the end, when he was with that boy on the mirror,
Yeah.
I thought it was really sweet. I was quite pleased with this, and he's such a lovely guy, and the flow of the song and the flow of the camera work was so good. I think it was in one shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought the violinists were slightly distracting, and sometimes the dancers. Sometimes it's nice to have it by yourself because I think he's just. If we look at past Eurovision winners who have performed
But alone. Yeah.
alone, Nemo, JJ,
Hmm.
Loreen, Stefania, that's their band, Killshawsha. They
Yeah.
didn't perform with anyone extra on stage. Zitia Burani, no one extra, that
Were
was
they
their
allowed
band.
though? Because they had 6 people.
Yeah, it's six, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 2019, Duncan Lawrence by himself. Netta was the last winner to have someone else on stage with the winner.
Yeah.
So, this was slightly distracting with the dancers in the background. Netherlands, again, not getting the result they thought they would have got.
I thought it would have been Sweden, Ukraine, Albania, and then Netherlands, or even Estonia.
Just expect Ukraine to come this high, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Sweden, who were 3 points behind. So still, Sweden were 19 points on the victory of the semi-final. It's very close. Getting the 12 from Estonia, Iceland, Norway. Why did this come so low in its semi-final?
I don't know. I think everyone overestimated it because they didn't see another country winning. They just saw Sweden, Sweden, Sweden. But was it the best? No.
I think I would say this to myself. I love the song. I'm trying to force myself to like it
Yeah.
because it's like a fan favourite and everybody loves it. But here's my point again. If you're voting in a semi-final, I don't vote because I don't want to vote because I like to stay neutral to every song because I love every song. You want to vote for the countries you want to help to get through, not the countries that you know will get through.
Yeah.
Hence the reason maybe why people didn't vote for Sweden, because people are like, oh, Sweden are going to get through. Maybe that's why Belgium didn't get through. People were like, Belgium, we know they're not going to get through. We know they're going to get through. We're not going to vote for them. Because do you know what? We think they're going to get through. And if everybody thinks that, then they don't get through, do they? I thought it was good. Yeah, I don't really have many words to describe it.
Just good.
Yeah, I don't think it was like because it was so similar to Melfest. Look, Sweden can see now. They still got a good finish, 4th in the final as well. But Sweden, interestingly, coming above Ukraine in the televote, Albania in the televote, Netherlands in the televote, who all came above them in the semi-final. Then showing that when put in a set of 15 songs, it's not that hard to come in a top 10. When put in a set of 26 songs, then that's when those countries struggle and Sweden get the best out of it.
Did they get 12 points from the jury, Sweden?
I think they got one. 13 out of 26 countries got a point from the jury, 12 points from the jury in the final. It's Estonia, the country that came second in the televote in the final. Again, quite surprising to see them down in 5th. The 12 points from Croatia, and that is it. They got 4 points from the rest of the world. Toby Cash was amazing.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed it. You know, I wasn't a massive fan of the song going into it. It's fun. It's like a guilty pleasure, but live, it was elevated. You start with him, with his macchiato, espresso macchiato, and then you have planes flying, and then you have Winner's Cafe, and you have his 4 funky dancers, and then you have an Invader, and then you have being flown in coffee beans. I mean, I really had everything.
It had absolutely everything. And even though this was a joke song, it still did well. It still did
San Marino's jury gave it 10 points.
Well.
So, it did better in the juries than I thought it would. We put simulations on the YouTube channel in recent months. Sweden never did that well, and Estonia always did better in the juries and public, and everyone's like in the comments, this is pathetic. Sweden are obviously going to do so well. Estonia are going to do awful in the juries. In the end, Estonia actually getting a better result than Sweden overall, you know, shows that it's so hard to predict this year, wasn't it?
Definitely, extremely.
It was so hard to predict. So the top 5 having a 24-point difference is just pretty crazy. Joe, what was your favourite out of these top 5 in the semi-final?
My favourite out of the top 5? Albania, probably. Albania. I think my worst was definitely Ukraine.
Yeah, I wasn't fascinated by Ukraine. It was okay.
It was okay.
I feel the staging was also a bit too less. I mean, you can overdo the staging at the same time, but I thought it was very underwhelming. Okay, let's talk about Iceland, who came 6th with 97 points, getting did they get 12 points? Yeah, they got them from Sweden, actually. They're neighbours, kind of neighbours. They got 8 from the rest of the world. They only didn't get points at Iceland from Azerbaijan and from San Marino. Iceland opening the show. I tell you, when Iceland qualified, it looked odd to see an Icelandic flag saying qualified for the final. They qualified, finally, vibe with Roa, and they qualified comfortably.
Yeah. I didn't expect it to be comfortably. I think it was okay. Didn't stick in my head through the whole semi-final, but it was still good. There wasn't anything to like lift up.
I was talking to my friend the other day, and he doesn't he's like not a Eurovision super fan. He just tunes on the night to watch it, and I see him the next day on the Wednesday, And the only thing he's doing is singing Roa by Vibe. And I'm thinking to myself, maybe this song is actually so catchy. He said it was different class to every other song. I said, well, that's questionable. But I think the songs we can see this year that are really gripping to people are the catchy songs in other
Yeah.
languages. You know, they are, and everybody's singing, I know, especially Macchiato and I'm going past. Maybe the English songs aren't actually, this year, we had 20 odd languages in Eurovision, and they come out better.
Yeah, yeah. I think you can see through this. If you just switch Norway and San Marino round, there's the bottom five are all English and
Bottom
Norway
six, yeah.
six.
Oh, well, there were only 6 songs in this semi final that were all in English,
Yeah,
and 5 of them didn't qualify. Iceland was very good.
Iceland was
Now,
really
one
good.
country that I reckon will be slightly disappointed was Poland.
Yeah,
You see this next Gaia, 85 points, 12 points from the Netherlands, and 12 points from Ukraine. No, not 12 points from Ukraine. That's interesting. Only 5 points from Ukraine. Um, look, was this overdone?
I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't really say so. I think the flying bit was a bit pointless because she just got lifted up into the air and got put
You think it was
down.
pointless?
Not pointless, but it just didn't really add much to the
I think the performance felt very natural.
Yeah,
Felt very connected, and the camera angles were very immersive, and I was a massive fan of that. So was all the graphics this year in Basel. They were all so immersive, and the staging was amazing. Look, I think this was amazing.
yeah,
I loved Gaia by
same.
Justina, but the public, I'm like, 85 points is still a good amount of points to get in
Yeah,
a semi-final. In a normal year, in a semi-final, that puts you at third or fourth. Just this year was so close and congested. Yeah,
yeah,
I thought I thought it was good, but I thought it was going to be an overhalf situation where it came at 10th and then
yeah,
just about
definitely.
didn't do well in the final, but in the final people loved it, which is brilliant to see. Let's move to Norway. Carl Alessandro Leiter getting 82 points to 12 points from Ukraine. Um, yeah, what's about this one? Very generic pop. I
Yeah,
love the song, but live, was it really that good? I'm like, he can sing. I just felt it was a bit underwhelming. The stage was a bit empty.
yeah. I think I think it was okay. Not one once again, not one of my favourites. What was it? Just him on there?
No,
No.
he has two dances and then like a break dance at the
Yeah.
end. But I think in the first semi-final especially, he was so nervous. You could hear
Yeah.
his voice shaking at the beginning, and then you think, oh, great. But I still think he did a good job, but I wouldn't predict this to come any higher than 8, to be
No.
honest. It was a comfortable qualifier in the side that I didn't think it wouldn't qualify. But, yeah, just good enough to push boundaries, but still did relatively well in the final, and Norway can be happy with what they produced.
Yeah.
Okay, Portugal are the last country we haven't talked about, the biggest shot qualifier, really. Receiving 56 points, so quite a drop down. They got 3 points from Belgium, 6 from Estonia, 1 from Iceland, 1 from Italy, 3 from the Netherlands, 3 from Norway, 3 from Poland, 4 from San Marino, 3 from Slovenia, 7 from Spain, 2 from Sweden, 8 from Switzerland, 7 from Ukraine, and 5 from the rest of the world. Very consistent points.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really consistent. And every country more or less voted for it besides about 4. So that is, that's quite brilliant for Portugal, I think. Like, no
Yeah.
one would have expected it to even get through, and to get points from that many countries is quite impressive.
It's very impressive. They only missed out from Albania, Azerbaijan,
Cyprus, Croatia,
Cyprus,
and
and
Estonia.
Croatia. Yeah.
And no, they did get from Estonia, did they?
Yeah.
No, they did get from Estonia. Look, I can't fault this. On the night when I was
No.
watching it, like last year when I was watching Hollow, I was like, from Dons, this might be the last time I'm watching this performance.
I don't
And
think it will qualify.
yeah,
Definitely,
I think
definitely
this might
not.
be the last time I watch this performance. And that final split screen, the actual final split screen, the ninth qualifier, I was like, it can't be Azerbaijan, so it has to be Slovenia or it has to be Portugal. And
Yeah.
I was surprised, but good for them. I'm very pleased for
Yeah.
them.
Well
It's a
done.
great song. I thought, but that just shows this year authenticity won over
Yeah.
generic pop. And I think it was really impressive, Joe.
Yeah, I think it was brilliant. The staging, there wasn't much, obviously, but they used everything that they had, and it was a really, really good, sweet song.
All right. If you're still watching, here's the time for a bit of a laugh. See what me and Joe got wrong. Right, the time has come. Me and Joe have decided the 10 acts that we'll be putting through to the final. But first, the songs that we definitely put through to the final are Estonia, Ukraine, Sweden, Norway, Belgium, Albania, and the Netherlands.
Yeah.
So, Joe, do you want to tell us a country, or let's start with 2 countries who you are definitely saying no to?
My 2 countries that I'm definitely saying no to. Wow. The first 2 countries that I'm saying no to are Croatia, which I had in borderline, and Iceland.
So I'll go with that as well to make it even. I've said Slovenia, which you said non-qualifier, and Iceland as well. So that leaves us with Poland, Portugal, Azerbaijan, San Marino, and Cyprus.
Yes.
And how many can qualify? It's 3.
3 can qualify.
All right. I'm still very sceptical about my decision, and I'm not sure how confident I am. But I'm going to start with Poland to qualify.
Oh, same.
Yeah. So Justyna Steczkowska would be our 8th choice then to qualify, probably.
Yeah, 8th.
This song, I just cannot see a world where it doesn't qualify.
Yeah, neither, really.
That's the thing. Can I see this?
I can 100% see this qualifying.
I can see a scenario where this comes 10th and squeezes through. Yes, I could. But can I see it coming lower? I'm just not...
Not really, no.
Just not sure. Would Iceland come above it? No. Will Croatia? No, they can't. Will Slovenia? No.
No.
So no. Poland is in the final. We've now agreed on 8 together.
Definitely in the final.
All right.
So now we have San Marino, Portugal, Cyprus, and Azerbaijan.
All right. I'm going to say I'm not going to put Azerbaijan in the final.
Neither.
So Azerbaijan are not in the final. So that leaves us with Portugal, San Marino, and Cyprus. And 2 are going to go through. Joe, who are your... Go on, tell us one more that's going through.
My next one that's going through is Portugal.
Napa, Deslocado, why?
I just think it's like, it hits close to home. It's emotional. I think it could scrape through by like 1-2 points even, maybe.
Yeah.
In 10th. Could be 9th. Could even be 8th. I don't know.
Could be higher.
Could be
People
higher.
might really connect with this.
People might really like this. But I just see the chorus is different to the verses by a lot, very different. I just really, really like the song.
Yeah, it's sweet.
I think it will beat Cyprus and San Marino.
So your final 2 is between Cyprus and San Marino, and my final 2 are going to be between... I'm still so stuck. Cyprus and Portugal, because I'm putting San Marino through to the final with Italy in the semi-final. I cannot see how such a famous guy is not going to get through to the final. So San Marino are in the final. So, Joe, who is the final act reaching the final from semi-final number 1?
My final act is San Marino as well. It's famous. Italy are voting. It's just, and it's also a really vibey song. You jump up and dance to it. It's better than Cyprus in my opinion.
So you are going for a Cyprus non-qualifier?
Cyprus non-qualifier.
Is that your predicted 11th in the semi-final, or are you going for someone different?
That is my predicted 11th or 12th. I think it will be between Cyprus and Azerbaijan.
So you have said that Cyprus will not qualify. I am between now Cyprus and Portugal. I'm putting Cyprus in the final.
Wow, really?
I think Portugal will just miss out there. I've got Spain in the semi-final, but being near Estonia, Ukraine, Sweden, Norway, Belgium, it's going to hinder them. So my 10 qualifiers are Poland, Estonia, Ukraine, Sweden, Norway, Belgium, San Marino, Albania, Netherlands, and Cyprus. And Joe, your 10 qualifiers
My 10 qualifiers are Estonia, Ukraine, Sweden, Norway, Belgium, Albania, Netherlands, San Marino, Poland, and Portugal.
Well, if you're still sticking around, thank you very much. And that was a bit of a laugh, wasn't it, Joe? We both thought Belgium would get through, and they didn't. I thought Cyprus would get through, and they didn't, so I got 2 wrong there. You didn't think Cyprus would qualify, and you got Portugal in, and we both got Iceland wrong. So, you got 9 right, and I only got 8 right. Let's see the rest of the world vote, shall we? Where the rest of the world gave their 1 point to the Netherlands, they gave their 2 points to Croatia, Their 3 points were given to Norway. The 4 points went to Estonia. The 5 points went to Portugal. The 6 points went to Poland. The 7 went to Sweden. The 8 went to Iceland. That's interesting. The 10 to Ukraine and the 12 to Albania.
Am I right in saying if San Marino were the only top 10 country not to get the point from rest of the world?
Correct, because Croatia got instead. So, well, that was a hectic semi-final. But do you know what's even more hectic? Semi-final number 2. So in a few days, check your feed because semi-final 2 will be coming out. Any last thoughts, Joe?
No, thanks for 400
400 subscribers.
in 1 year.
Yeah, more subscribers would be brilliant. But thank you for sticking around for this video. It's been a long one for a video normally, but it's been brilliant. Semi-final 2 will be out in a few days because that was a hectic one, and the grand final. And subscribe, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.